DUKEENGAGE Costa Rica is a new program that had its first run in 2017. It is a service learning effort based on reforestation and water resource management in the Bellbird Biological Corridor. I'm Deidre McLaren, the faculty fellow for this program, and I have been working in Costa Rica doing teaching and researching for about the last 20 years. The coordinator and head of the program is Deborah Hamilton, who is also the director of the Monteverde Institute. The Institute is Duke's community partner in Costa Rica and the site of administrative, logistical, and program support. Deb has been working in Costa Rica for over 20 years and has been doing conservation, teaching, and research. We made this video to introduce you to Costa Rica and the Reforestation Project. Next, Deb will give you the overall vision. We will then introduce you to various locations, including the Biological Corridor, the Monteverde community, and the Institute. We have a series of interviews with the 12 2017 Duke student participants so that you can get their perspectives. And we have some discussions with a few of our community partners. Interposed throughout will be scenes of the activities that the students engaged in during 2017, and then at the end there will be some links for more information. This is a good place to mention that there is no need to be a biology or environmental sciences major for this program, and there is no need already to have a background in the Spanish language. In 2017, we did have environmental science majors, but we also had an economist, engineering majors, public policy people, and the range of Spanish fluency went from basically fluent all the way down to just beginning. So we can accommodate a wide variety of backgrounds and levels of Spanish proficiency.
In my opinion, the DUKEENGAGE program, Costa Rica this year, was incredibly successful. Not only did these students have a direct impact on habitat restoration by planting over 3,000 trees on different farms throughout the whole Bellbird Biological Corridor. They interacted with locals, they did surveys to find out the motives of reforestation, and they've worked in research, not only in improving ways to improve the methods of reforestation, but also when you reforest an area, are you really replacing a forest? What is the integrity of that forest? And these results that are alongside or paralleling the actual planting of trees will provide information to enhance reforestation. So their impact will be much greater than just the 3,000 trees that they planted, and I don't mean just the 3,000 trees that they planted, but it will also help us with future reforestation. The Bellbird Biological Corridor extends all the way up from the reserve in the Continental Divide at 1,850 meters and goes all the way out to the Gulf of Nicoya that you can see out there at sea level. Corridors are about linkages and linking habitats together and creating passageways. Our objectives are to protect habitat that's here, restore habitat, and then really focus on making sure that these linkages are there. What we are actively working on right now is reforestation, and the conservation efforts up here have been very effective, as you can see. We're in pretty good shape up here. Still some more work to be done. Where it's critical is just over that mountaintop to the lower elevations. For that reason, we have a tree nursery at 400 meters.
Most of the sites you'll be seeing in this video are along a 12-kilometer stretch of road up here in the Monteverde area. And the 12-kilometer stretches from the parking lot basically at the top of the hill where the Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve is, down through the Santa Elena Commercial Center, which has about 6,000 or 7,000 people, and then a little bit further down the hill to the La Calandria Biological Field Station, where we have one of our nurseries and one of the reforestation sites. Right now, we're going to take a little drive around Santa Elena to give you an idea of what's in the town. And we will be passing by the clinic, a soccer field, a bank, one or two grocery stores, and lots of restaurants. We're here at the Monteverde Institute. This is going to be the hub of our activities on the DUKEENGAGE program. This is where the Spanish classes will be held. There's a fabulous library, a GIS lab, and a lot of support services for different academic groups that are down here.
Entonces aquí tenemos el auditorio, que es el lugar donde normalmente recibimos a los charlistas, conferencias, las presentaciones de los estudiantes. Aquí tenemos entonces la biblioteca, es el área donde los estudiantes pueden venir para hacer sus investigaciones.
Proveemos árboles gratis a la comunidad, sobre todo para reforestar las nacientes de los ríos como tal y algunas otras áreas que los finqueros quieran reforestar.
Communities are incredibly interested in receiving help for reforestation in the form of trees or in actual volunteer work so that people would be out there planting trees.
I'm on the DUKEENGAGE Costa Rica trip this summer to learn about how conservation and reforestation combine with research, which is what I'm really interested in at school. I tend to work with trees, so this is like the perfect opportunity for me to study a bunch of different tropical species and see how different aspects of the environment and climate change have been affecting.
We've been here for just over a week so far, and it's been a great experience so far. We've gotten to spend a lot of time out in the field, in the rainforest, planting some really critical trees, many endemic to this area, some endangered, to help with the reforestation project going on at the Monteverde Institute.
I'm really excited about doing conservation in Costa Rica, especially in the Monteverde area, since there are so many scientists and a lot of the local landowners and community are all really involved in the conservation efforts here.
We've been planting a lot of trees, kind of traveling around Monteverde a lot. I've definitely enjoyed it a lot so far. Not exactly sure what I want to do after school, so part of the reason I wanted to DUKEENGAGE was to just get an interesting experience in a foreign country, try something completely new that I've never done before.
I'm very interested in fungi, and I'm also very passionate about sustainable agriculture and environmental education, especially their potential impacts in developing countries. Coming to Costa Rica this time, I'm very excited to learn about how Costa Rica as a country could develop and implement very effective environmental policy.
I have a particular interest in environmental policy, and as such, I've enjoyed the DUKEENGAGE Costa Rica program so far. I've been able to attend different guest lectures to understand how the environment and policy interact together. Additionally, I've enjoyed being able to get more hands-on experience working, planting trees, and sort of diversifying my interests to see whether or not I'm more interested in the science side or the policy side. So I've truly enjoyed this program as it opens my eyes to both aspects of it.
It's much drier down here, much hotter. Clearly, as you can see, I'm sweating up a storm down here. It's very, very hot. And I'm happy that we're able to plant these trees. I think the lack of forest here definitely contributes to that. The lack of rainfall compared to Monteverde is probably a factor of this deforestation. So the impact that we're making here, I think is great. We're moving more into research topics. We're going to do a forest integrity study when we get back to Monteverde over there by La Calandria.
So down here in the lowlands, because we don't have as many research institutions, you don't have the Monteverde Institute, for example, you don't have all the researchers that comes with, more of the planting around here is just mass planting, sort of taking a plot of land and just filling it with trees. Here's 150 individuals from 5 different species and fill them up, sort of ideal. Whereas in Monteverde, it's a lot more per tree focus, as in we're planting one tree and we'll measure that tree. We'll see how many leaves it has, what the condition is, how tall it's grown, so that we can compare it to how it's doing next year. Whereas down here, it's more of a reforestation effort. Up there, it's more of a research behind reforestation and finding out what's more effective in terms of reforestation.
In the month coming up, I'm really excited to continue working with people in the community, especially in Monteverde. our group is trying to get people to sign up for free trees, and we're trying to increase local awareness behind reforestation and climate change and a whole host of other issues. Other members of our group are excited to keep working on research and carbon sequestration. I think by the end of the program we're trying to get a paper published behind the forest integrity and seeing if the forests that have been planted in years past are working the way they're supposed to.
So far it's been going really good. We've mainly been focused on reforestation, and pretty soon when we cross the halfway point we're going to break into our own group-based project events. I myself am going to be working on a rain garden and some of a municipality playground, and a couple other DUKEENGAGE members are going to be doing that with me. So we've been just planning that out, and we're really looking forward to that over this last month.
I do feel like we've done a lot of good work for the community, and I've really gotten to immerse myself more in speaking Spanish while down here because there's less English spoken down here, and it's been a really great experience so far.
I think in Monteverde there were just constant clouds and rain, so it was really cool up there and we were spoiled by that. But down here we've been doing a lot of work too, and we've been planting hundreds of trees a day. Just this morning we planted about 200 trees, and right now we're at a women's association and we're building a tree nursery for them, so that's something new and exciting. And I'm just really proud of our team. We've really learned to work together efficiently.
Bueno, la idea del vivero es para, bueno, como les decía, es para reforestar la quebrada, porque aquí la quebrada queda muy seca y se necesita agua en la quebrada para los animalitos y para todo, ¿verdad? Y la idea del vivero es para reforestar nosotros y para donar a instituciones o qué sé yo, a comités que quieran. Está, por ejemplo, la iglesia, está la escuela, etcétera, ¿verdad? El salón comunal alrededor, y aquí a nivel de comunidad también, que esa es la idea del vivero, ¿verdad? Nosotros con el Instituto Monteverde, con los muchachos de la universidad, ¿verdad? Nos sentimos acompañadas y sentimos que hay apoyo para poder a futuro realizar el proyecto de reforestar todo lo que es la quebrada, que eso queremos. Tenemos ese proyecto hace muchos años y pues no hemos podido hacerlos, entonces ahora sentimos que tenemos mucho apoyo de ellos y que no estamos solas, que podemos sacarlo.
Son 4 hectáreas, no es mucho, pero sí, mi idea es que se mantenga en montaña. Aquí casi todos son fincas de potrero, entonces mi idea aquí ha sido que sea como un pulmón, contribuir allá a la zona, que me siento parte de lo que es la Alta Monteverde. Para mí es un gran placer y agradecerles mucho esta asistencia. Esto yo llevo a cabo yo solo y mire, esto es una gran ayuda, hay que verlo, ya más que levante para el futuro. Uno tal vez no lo llegará a ver como uno sueña, pero otros vendrán que disfrutan.
So we've reached the end of the program here, almost to the end of the 8 weeks that the DUKEENGAGE program consists of, and I'm just amazed of all the different activities we've had the privilege of being a part of, from planting trees to working with the community, participating in tropical biology research. One of the things that just most stands out to me about this program is the vast array of activities that we've been able to do. It's a great learning experience.
I was able to use my Spanish a lot, especially in applied situations, which was really exciting because I've taken a lot of Spanish classes, but I haven't been able to really use it in a community or in a more authentic and realistic setting, rather than just class discussions with other non-native Spanish speakers. So I was really excited to be able to use my Spanish with native Spanish speakers and for a purpose, like ordering food in a restaurant or learning about tree nurseries or receiving instructions in Spanish from some of our instructors.
Able to have to work with those experts from different fields not only allows us to have a more comprehensive study of forest integrity, but also allows us, like each of us individuals, to pursue our own interests. So like some of us are more interested in the soil, some of us are really crazy about mammals or butterflies or plants. And I think having each of us pursue our own passion within this service program really engages all of us.
I feel like the Institute has been integral in our experience here. It's kind of been our home base while we're here, and it has the best Wi-Fi we've had while we're here, so it's important.
It's also very convenient because a lot of our transportation is based out of the Institute. For example, the van we take called the Blanco and the Buseta are based here and they're part of the Institute. In addition, one of the places that we work, the Crandall Reserve, is right behind the Institute. I think it's like 200 meters that way. So it's really convenient to sort of just come here in the morning and work during the day.
Also, our cultural immersion experience is our Spanish class, and that's in the Institute. So not only do we come in and we do our work, but we use the Wi-Fi for, and we leave out here to go for field days, but we also kind of have our cultural experience here.
And it's really cool that Deb, who is our coordinator, she's the director of the Institute, so she can connect us with all these amazing people who are based at the Institute, and she can order other people around to drive us all around town or get us resources or supplies.
Over the last 2 or 3 weeks of the 2017 program, the students designed a forest integrity study. Deb mentioned earlier the big question about reforestation. We have planted all these trees, but have we really restored functionality, niche diversity, ecosystem services to the replanted areas? In an attempt to answer this question, students compared a 14-year-old replanted forest patch with a nearby area of naturally regenerated secondary forest of more than 50 years of age. In both plots, they measured aspects of forest structure, such as tree density, coarse woody debris, canopy closure, soil and leaf litter depth, biodiversity, ants, butterflies, birds, mice, fungi, trees, lichens, moss, and ecosystem services, carbon sequestration, pollination, fruit dispersal. They presented their findings in a formal symposium the last day of the program, but basically they found that in many ways the 14-year-old replanted forest was closing in on many of the aspects of the older secondary 50-year-old forest. This forest integrity study was very valuable not only for the data that it generated, but also as a method of rapid assessment that could potentially be used with other programs and in other forests. It served both a scientific and an educational purpose.
A message to Duke Engage from Duke Engage Costa Rica is keep on doing this. I believe that I'm hoping that these students leave with a sense of hope, a sense of empowerment, that they have been able to see that they really have had an impact here, and they will carry this with them to have a greater impact in the future.
Okay, Victorino, can we bring you another group next year? Can you keep them busy?
I think between you, between Debbie, between me, and Liam, and we can keep them busy.
Okay.
I think you have to we think of maybe more than 3,000 trees this time.
Yeah, more than 3,000.
Okay. We still have a lot of open land, open areas, and a lot of people that we're not going to cover this year that they are interested in planting trees along the corridor. Yeah, definitely. There's always work, and there's always trees to plant. So, and always people interested, which is good.
Okay, so you'll get the trees ready, and we'll come back next year and plant them.
That would be great.
Okay.
It's a deal.
Good deal.
Good deal.
Okay.